guys, thanks for joining me. Today I've actually teamed up with Marc Anthony Cosmetics to bring you a tutorial that I'm really excited about. This is a look that I used to wear a lot a few years ago, and I think actually it was made popular by the Olsen twins. It's the look where your hair is really curly and wavy up top, and once you get to the bottom it's more of like a stick straight look at the bottom. So it's kind of edgy, it's not that much of a polished look, but it's one of my favorites. The products that I'm going to use to achieve this look are the Marc Anthony Strictly Curls Curl Enhancing Styling Foam, as well as the Marc Anthony Dream Waves Beach Spray. So both of these products are going to help me achieve that kind of unpolished, tousled look. And the tools that I'm going to be using are a 1.5 inch curling wand and a flat iron. So first I'm going to start out by curling my hair with a curling wand. So I'm just going to separate my hair into two. Usually when I curl my hair, this is what I do. I separate into two and then separate those two sections in halves. So I'm going to bring all of that to the front. So my Bellami curling rod is really hot, and it's a 1.5 inch curling rod. Since my hair is a little bit longer, I'm using the 1.5 inch. If your hair is a little bit shorter, you can use a smaller barrel. So I'm going to take fairly small sections, not that big, and I'm going to curl away from my face. So I'm going to start at the top and curl it all the way around the barrel and just leave that end out. So I'm just going to work this through. Again, I'm not holding it toward the end at all, just until the last few seconds, then I'll kind of bring it down right there and then let it go. Perfect. So I'm just going to continue doing this, again curling away from my face. And then once I get to the top layers of my hair, you're going to notice I'm going to curl much closer to my roots because I want it curlier up here and again straighter at the ends. So I went ahead and curled the bottom layers of my hair, and now I'm going to do the top. And again, because the top is more important, I'm going to curl the hair closer to the roots. So here I go, again, facing away from my face. I'm going to start curling right at the roots. And I'm going to hold them here longer than normal because your hair is heavy at the bottom, obviously, and it weighs down the roots, so you want to reinforce that curl at the top. And then just work your way down. And again, I'm not going to hold it for too long at the ends because I am going to end up straightening those anyway. And with the products that I'm using, these aren't going to stay like super curl polished the way they are. It's going to be a nice messy wave. So on to the next piece. Again, wrapping it and holding it close to the roots. Just going to hang out there for a minute. And we're just going to continue this all over. See, that's exactly the kind of curl you want to get. Nice and full at the top. Okay, so now that all of my hair is curled, I'm going to take my curl enhancing styling foam, and I'm really only going to use this toward the roots. This, the directions say to use it on damp hair so that it dries and really defines those curls naturally. But I'm going to use this dry so that it really holds those curls at the top and kind of gives me more volume. So shake it up. I'm going to put not too much, just about enough to get to the hair at my roots. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to work it in through the back and just tousle my hair kind of in a violent way and just really work that in. And be careful to avoid your ends. I know I look really funny right now, but be careful to avoid your ends because you are going to be using a flat iron there, and you don't want to use a flat iron over hair that has product on it. So I'm going to work this through the roots and really give it that volume. And this process too will kind of loosen up the curls a little bit. You don't want them to stay like really tight and polished and separated. You want them kind of mingling, and in the end you want it to look like kind of like a wave, not so much of a curl. I'm going to go through and flat iron the last 2 to 3 inches of my hair. I'm not going to hold it for too long because you don't want to heat style your ends that much, so it's going to be a quick swipe. I'm not going to hold it for very long. So I'm going to start at the ends here. So I'm going to take this little guy, and you can see it's curled at the end, and I'm going to hold it there and flatten. There. I'm going to do the same thing here. Hold and flatten. Take this little guy, hold, and flatten. So I guess I'm taking more than 2 to 3 inches. It's more like 4 inches, but to get that effect, I really want to take more than less. And once you flatten these pieces too, it ends up looking more piecey, so it adds to that kind of edgy look. So I'm going to continue flat ironing. I'm just going to take bigger pieces on this side. Straighten. And you can take as much or as little as you want when you're flat ironing. You can, straighten this much, or you can straighten more than that. It's really up to you. So now that I have all of the styling done, I want to make sure that I add a lot of texture to this style because the piecier it looks, the better it looks. So I'm going to take the Marc Anthony Dream Waves Beach Spray and I'm going to spray this all throughout my hair and just kind of scrunch it up. So I'm going to take my hair and make sure I get to the bottoms and then let the rest of it fall. And just so you're prepared for the best scent experience ever, this stuff smells like coconut. It's so yummy. So I'm just going to scrunch that up. So now I have to use my right hand, which I'm not accustomed to. So I got my face there. And my eye. So now you see the spray has kind of pulled the whole look together. It's not so separated curl and straight. It's kind of like a fade from curly into straight. And I love these piecey ends here. I think it's just such a different and cool look. It's almost like this, Tarzan's Jane kind of look. Really unkempt and just very edgy. I love it. And don't forget, the key to this look is texture and volume. That's really what separates it from an ordinary wavy style. And the best part of this is that even though I used a couple of products, and I used kind of a lot, my hair still feels really touchable and soft. It's not crunchy at all. So that's what I love about these products, especially this coconut smell is so good. I love this. I think I'll be using this one a lot. So thanks guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this look. It's really one of my favorites, and all you're really doing is curling and then straightening the ends. So it's super easy, and I hope you'll try it. And don't forget, the products that I used are the Marc Anthony Strictly Curls Curl Enhancing Styling Foam and the Dream Waves Beach Spray. And you can get these products at CVS.